Hello and welcome to Hudson Valley Knits. I am Amy, your host. I am also known as Memers on Ravelry and Memers66 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on my website, which is hudsonvalleyknits.com, and I'm also on YouTube, Memers66 on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. So I'm not in the Hudson Valley today. I'm actually upstate New York at the Delaware River Gap. So not far from the Pennsylvania border. I'm at my parents' house for Mother's Day. It's Sunday, May 10th, by the way. And my son and I came up yesterday to spend Mother's Day with my family. My mother wasn't expecting any of us. Except for my one sister Lisa, who already lives here. So it was really cool to surprise her, and we took her out for a brunch, and I'll share some pictures and videos at the end. But yeah, so I am at the edge of their property, so I'm all the way down by the water. I've recorded here before, but I've never recorded down by the water. So here, they have a little bench here, but they also, so this is how close they are to the water. That's the train tracks, that bridge there. And their house is, well, you can't see, but well, maybe you can. Hold on. You see their house up there? No, you can see the edge of their garden, but their house is up there. Trust me. Let me fix this. Sorry. Wobbly. All right. So anyway, that's where I am today at the Delaware River Gap. It's gorgeous. It's hot, though. Even the water is warm, which this time of year, usually the water here is pretty cold still, but not today. So let's see. It's been 3 weeks. I've been really busy, and I'll get into more of that at the end and tell you what I've been up to. You may be guessing my kitchen, and that is a big part of it, but there's other stuff. Let me see. And I'm going to have a new giveaway. I'm going to go into the details at the end, but you'll see some new threads in the Ravelry group. So go check it out and stay tuned to the end for all the details. There is going to be something special for weavers, knitters, and spinners. And you get to choose which one you sign up for. So let's get down to it. I'm not going to go into the news stuff until the end, but I don't have a lot to show you, although I have done a lot of knittings. I only have 2 main projects that I've been working on, and I know I'm kind of like in a kind of fiddly kind of mood. But let me show you. I of course have the lefty shawl, which when I left off with the lefty shawl, I was at 15 leaves. And now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19. So obviously my progress with the amount of leaves getting done is slowing down as the rows get longer and longer. And just so you know, this is Miss Bab's Yummy. And it's in the, I always forget the name of the gray. I always want to say pewter, but it's not. It is slate. I don't know why I want to say pewter. It's slate, and it's Yummy 2-ply. It was one of Miss Bab's lefty sets. And the other one is, the contrasting color is Yummy in Joan of Arc colorway, which is like a multi with oranges, beautiful reds, some gray and yellow, and beautiful. So this is coming along. I'm enjoying it immensely. It's my mindless knitting. And I also have the other thing I've been working a lot on, and when last podcast I had only the first sock done, and I had just cast on the second sock. Well, here's how far I've gotten with the second sock. I've already turned the heel, which is a fish lips kiss heel, and I'm going down the leg. So this is how much I got done. Ball yarn. Coming along beautifully. I'm really enjoying it. Not sure what sock I'm going to knit next, but I've already been thinking about that. And I have so many beautiful sock yarn colors to choose from. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next, but so I have been like exploring my queue to see what do I feel like knitting another vanilla sock and just like a really crazy cool colorway, or do I want to use a semi-solid and just like do another cool kind of unusual pattern. I haven't decided yet. I did want to talk to you too. I will be doing a knit along starting June 1st. I wanted to talk to you about it. I'm kind of excited, and it's kind of another reason why I haven't cast on something else. I have been looking at some of the Rosemary Hill or Rami knit alongs, and I love her shawls. And there's two shawls. One was her latest knit along shawl, mystery knit along, which I did purchase the pattern, but I never started it. I like to see what they look like when they're done before I choose the yarn. It's really, like with Rosemary Hill, I'm pretty certain I'll love whatever pattern she comes out with, but I like to see how other people's, how it looks first to choose the right colors, right? So I really want to do that, but what I ended up doing was I ended up signing up for Donna Dracunis's mystery knit along. Let me see, it's called In My Garden Mystery Knit Along, and it's a semicircular shawl, and she's planning on using all different kinds of techniques and doing videos to help people that it might be new to, and to show tips and tricks. So I'm really excited about it. I'm a big fan of Donna Dracunis as well, and I broke down and broke the law and I bought one of the kits, which were from Yarn Fairy and the Pixies. I'm going to provide a link. I chose the colorway Apple Blossom. I don't know if you're going to see the screen very well down here. Let's try. But there's 4 colorways available, and the kit prices are really reasonable. That's why I took the leap. So like I said, I don't usually do the mystery knit alongs until after they're done, because I like to see what it looks like before I choose the colors. Well, this one already have the colors picked out, so I know it's going to look good. So let me show you, if we can, some of the colorways. The first one is Columbine. And can you see it? I don't know, because I'm getting all sorts of reflections here. I think you're seeing the reflection of my phone. But the Columbines are like yellows and purples and oranges, and they go from bright yellowy orange to purple to like a deep indigo purple. It's really gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it. I think you're seeing reflections, so I'm just gonna, it's not gonna work. The other colorway is, come on, silly. Oh, okay. This one is called, which one? Petunia, and it's mostly periwinkles and blues and purples, very more tonal than the other colorway. And then there's Apple Blossom. This is the one I picked. It starts out with brown and then brown and pink, and it goes from like rose petal pink to a really hot pink, and I really like that, and I like brown and pink together. Pink's one of my favorite colors. I love to wear pink. I love little touches of pink around the house, so that one's cool. And then, so that's Apple Blossom, that's one I did. And the next one is, I think it's called Garden Greens. And it's like a Kelly green and spruce green and like a oceany blue. It's really cool colors, and it's yellow based greens, and it's quite beautiful. And then the final color is Sunflower, and if you can imagine, it's mostly bright yellow with touches of orange. So the prices were really great. I wanted to talk about the prices because let me get this to, come on. I can get this to go away. It comes with stitch markers. You see them? A necklace and earrings. And I thought for those prices, and this thing is moving really slow. I'm far away from the house, so I'm not getting a good internet signal. But it was like $114 for 2,200 yards of yarn, the stitch markers, earrings and a necklace made of porcelain. It's really, really a great, great deal. So I would highly recommend you checking that out, and I will put a link in the show notes. So that's something that doesn't start until June 1st though, and I won't get the yarn for another 2 or 3 weeks. So she says it will take about 3 weeks to get you the yarn. So if you want to start on June 1st with me, you should probably order that kit real soon or pick something out from your stash. If you pick out from your stash, she recommends a gradient, and also, you know, just check out the Knit Along thread in her Ravelry group because it has all the information you need. And the pattern right now is $5, but will be $7 eventually. I'm not sure when, but it will go up to $7. I'm really excited about knitting this. I've been wanting to knit a nice lace shawl for a while, but I'm also thinking about sweaters. So I've been thinking a lot about Mark's sweater. It's summertime, so I don't have a urge, but I really just want to get this sweater done. It's starting to be not enjoyable thinking about knitting it because it feels like such a chore now, but and the kitchen's done, so I have the space to block it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block out Mark's sweater, seam the front and back together, and then I'm gonna pick up from the armholes and knit the sleeves that way, along with like a little what do you call those? What do you call the sweaters that have the up here by the shoulders? They have that band. And I'm having a mind, like I can't think of it right now, but I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it soon because I know if I keep putting it off and procrastinating, I like to get things done. I don't like things hanging around half finished. So I'm going to finish Mark's sweater soon. I also swatched and got gauge for Rachel's sweater, which is on one of my 2015 goals. And that's the... let me get it up in the Knit Companion. That's the Lamb sweater by Stephen West. And I am going to knit this for my daughter Rachel. I have the yarn already. I bought it at Webb's last year during their tent sale. And their tent sale is next week. And good God, I'm not going, but oh man, is it hard not to. If you could make it to a Webb's tent sale, you should. And if you're thinking about buying a spinning wheel, their spinning wheels are 20% off during the tent sale. That's where I got my Lendrum last year during their tent sale. I saved a lot of money by getting it at the tent sale. I saved about 150 bucks. Okay? Plus no shipping because I was there to get it. If you're close enough, I would say it was almost a 3-hour drive for us. I went with Sandy last year and it was worth it. You should go. And by the way, I didn't go to Maryland. Sandy went to Maryland. It was fun hearing about it. And I was told it's an experience and I'll have to go. So maybe next year I'll go. But I'm saving my money for knitting camp in July with Meg Swanson and like this kit I just bought was kind of like a splurge that I probably shouldn't have done, but I did anyway. The other thing I want to work on really bad is I want to finish that Carson throw. And I also want to get, design a sweater. I like this great idea for the sweater, and I figured it all out using yarn by, that Rockwell yarn by Jill Draper Makes Stuff, but she won't do custom orders, so there's not, in the color I want, there's not enough yarn she's for sale right now, and she won't dye it, so I'm just like, I guess I gotta figure out a different yarn to get this design and in my head out. So, and I feel like a little upset about it because I spent 60 bucks buying 2 skeins to do swatching with, to come up with a design, and now I can't use the yarn, so I'm kind of like a little upset about that. If I had known I should have asked if she did the custom dyeing before I spent 60 bucks on yarn to swatch with. So I definitely want, but I still want to get this design written up and done, and I just gotta find a nice rustic, either light worsted or DK weight yarn that is not too scratchy, but it's definitely a rustic wool. And I loved the marled look that her yarns have, but again, it's just, as long as it's kind of rustic and not like plump and smooth, I definitely want a bit of rustic to it. If you have any ideas, let me know. You could check out Jill's Rockwell on her website, Jill Draper Makes Stuff, and to get an idea of what I have in mind, but something rustic like that. And I kind of liked, you know, I don't know of anybody else that does a marled yarn like her Rockwell, but something maybe kind of not solid, maybe semi-solid would be really nice too. So, and I was actually even thinking about doing Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks, and maybe using that. I don't know. So that's kind of what I've been had on my mind. I kind of was going through a bunch of my old whips, like sitting in the closet. I don't have a lot, but I do have that sweater that I swatched for, and I have the Carson throw. I haven't worked on that in a few weeks, and I have a shawl from Wendy. Wendy, I don't know her last name, Wendy, but Wendy, shoot, I can't remember. But she's a very popular designer, and I had that is in hibernation, and I've been thinking about pulling that out again and getting that done. So there's a lot I have ready to do that I'd like to finish. So we'll see how that goes. But right now it's just these 2 main projects: the vanilla socks and the lefty shawl. I did do some more spindle spinning. So I've been working on the spindle. I've been knitting up some on the round ponies made of 100% New Zealand wool. They're very woolen spun on the round. She has a cartel shop on the round.com. These are Mother Earth ponies, and I bought 2 1-ounce bags, and so they're all different colors. And it's 100% New Zealand wool. So I finished the first color, which I equate to like a wheat color, a yellowish wheat colored brown. I 2-plied it. I haven't given it a soak yet. I will do that. I'll show you again after I soak it. Maybe we'll see a difference, but it came out really nice. I have no idea the yardage. I do have some problems adding on a new pony and getting a nice smooth join. Now I know when you're spinning on their spindle and you're come to the end of your one pony and you're joining another one, you're just supposed to kind of lay it on top and just keep drafting, and it just never works out right for me, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's definitely something I need to work on. And I was thinking that if I could possibly swing it when the workshops for Rhinebeck come out, maybe I'll take the Friday off and see if I can get in the spindle class, because I could use some refinement in my spindle spinning. I'd like to take it to the next level, you know. And that's actually a 2015 goal, is to perfect my spinning, work on my spinning. So that's this. Now I started the next color, which is a beautiful greenish with some hints of blue. And this is on my green wood spindle. And yeah, just really liking it. I love the way this puni drafts. I'm really enjoying it. And I like the way the yarn is coming out from it. So I dropped the spindle the other day, and it's been wobbling ever since, and I'm wondering if I messed it up. Usually this is such a nice smooth spin, and I must have bent the hook or something when I dropped it. But yeah, so this is just my little pleasure that goes on and on. Spindle spinning with punies. I have a ton of punies in my stash. I got plenty to last me until till the holidays, when I probably ask my husband to buy me some more for Christmas. Last year he bought me a whole bunch of gourmet stash punies, which I've spun some of them up, but I haven't spun all of them, so I might ask for more. And that's spinning. On the Lendrum, which I don't have here obviously because I'm at my mom's, I still have the Highland Handmade merino wool and silk in the wheat colorway, and it's almost done. So maybe next podcast I'll have that to show you. What else we got? Oh, okay. So I do have some stash enhancement. First, it's just the last installment of the Hedgehog Fibers club for sock yarn. So I get 2 skeins of sock a month, and I'm not going to sign up for another one because I got a lot, and like I said, I want to save now for knitting camp. But I love this one particular color that we got. It's got like fuchsia and a dark blue and a light pink and some tans and browns and a little bit of yellow. I love it. This color is called Morello, and it's just beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. I want to use this soon. The other color is called Mint Julep, and it looks like mint julep. It's very pastel-y. It has the greens and a little bit of blue and some speckles, but all in all, not my favorite colorway and not one that really looks good on me. So I'm not sure what will happen with this. Beautiful nonetheless. So that is my one and only stash enhancement. However, I do have something that I bought, and we're going to kind of segue here. This is technically stash enhancement, but I have to give you a little background. So at the weekend of the 24th of April, I was in New York City. Many of you know, you might have heard that I read tarot cards, and it's one of those things that I'm really into, and I go to a tarot conference in New York City every year. It's about about 150 people. And they of course have vendors there, and one of the vendors, a beautiful woman that I see every year, she has a table, and she is also a weaver, and she sells hand woven shawls. And this year, they're very expensive. This year I splurged and bought one. I didn't buy any new tarot decks. And me not buying tarot, I did. I bought 2. But that's like going to Rhinebeck and buying 1 skein of yarn. And some of you might say, oh, I've done that. And I could never do that. But I didn't spend a lot of money on tarot related stuff. I bought a beautiful silver necklace that was handmade. And I bought this hand woven shawl. Where's the thing? Hold on, I gotta find the thing with the information, her card here. So, her name is Paula Scardamalia. And it is Nettles and Green Threads is her name of her business. It's woven of rayon, chenille, and rayon. It's 14 inches by 70 inches. And I have to say, I bought it because I love the colors, but I bought it because I was so impressed with the quality. You see all the beautiful colors? So we've got teals and bright blues and these burnt oranges and yellows, all the colors of the rainbow, red. And here is the tag. Let me show you the other side then. I mean, it's just really, really, really well done. You can see how beautiful and clean the edges are. So yeah, it's kind of like a shawl slash scarf. I loved it. So I paid $197 for it. It's the colorway rainbow. Okay. And I also picked up something from her. And now I'm getting to, if you visit her website, which is her website is NGT Online, which stands for Nettles and Green Threads, ngtonline.com. You can see some of her work there, and you can order a custom-made shawl if you so desire. But she's also a writer. She writes novels, fictional novels, and kind of spiritual-based novels. And she was selling a book, and I picked up a copy for you guys. I'm going to do a giveaway. So I am segueing now from stash enhancement to the giveaway announcement. I am going to be, as soon as I finish taping this, and before I start driving home, I'm going to be setting up a thread in the Ravelry group, 3 threads. The first thread is going to be for weavers, and in that thread you can have a chance to win Paula's book called Spiritual Lessons from the Loom, Weaving a Woman's Life by Paula. This is an amazing book. I've leafed through it, and I want to buy another one for myself. Next year I'll see her and I'll ask her to bring one. But she talks about tools and the spiritual lessons, intention, the warp, working with who we are. It's an amazing book. Making mistakes and forgiveness, color and texture. I mean, it's a very kind of spiritual book. It's not so much a technical how-to book. So if you are a weaver, or you're just consider yourself a deeply spiritual person, and you want a chance to read Paula's book, I want you to go to the thread for weaving, and tell me, what about your craft do you consider spiritual? So how is it like a spiritual practice for you? So that's for my weavers. I also have another gift for spinners. So if you don't weave, or you're not interested in books like that, I also have donated from a person, a podcast that watches the podcast, donated 4 issues of Ply magazine. Now, 4 is a bit much, so I figured 2 and 2. The first set I give away will be issues 1 and 4, which is the first one, and also 4, which was on spinning silk. And then I'll pull another name for twist and community. If you have a preference or the ones you would like, say so in the thread. So if you would like a chance to win 2 of these 4 magazines, I'm going to start a thread in the Ravelry group. Chipmunk jumping like this. He's like this close to me. So cute. Anyway, I'm gonna start a thread for spinners, and you can tell me what it is you love to spin. So in other words, do you love to spin silk? Do you love to spin different combinations? Are you strictly a wool spinner? Do you like only woolen spun stuff? Do you like to spin worsted method? You know, tell me what is your favorite kind of spinning. And then if you'd like to, maybe you own some of the Ply magazines already and there's a specific one you want, you can feel free to specify that in the thread, but I can't promise anything, okay? So if the two winners both want the same magazines, I'm just going to give the first one these two and the second one these two. But if I can manage to give someone something they want and everybody's happy, I'll do that. But like I said, no promises. And then the last gift is thread is going to be for knitters. Now, I'm sorry, I apologize for crocheters. I just have nothing to give for crocheters. I will make it up to you. But for now, you'll have to settle for spinning, weaving, or knitting. I am going to give away a digital copy of Stories and Stitches. Now, I know that they are working, and by they I mean Donna Dracunis and Ava Coleman, who published these as a collaboration. I am willing to, I will gift the knitter a digital issue, either one of the already existing issues, there are 4 already existing, or the 5th one, which should be coming out fairly soon, if you want to wait and see what it is, and maybe like me you already have the first 4. But the first one is Counterpane. So the first one has like a stitch from counterpanes from the old Stitch dictionaries that they redid and wrote up for you, and it is the first one. It's got some nice patterns in it. The second one is Knitted Samplers. This is my favorite one. Knitted Samplers has the Event Horizon shawl in it, which I knit for my aunt last year or 2 years ago. It's an amazing pie shawl pattern, and I highly recommend the second one if you really like pie shawls or knitted lace or anything like that. There's a lot of beautiful stitch patterns in there. So that's the second issue, Knitted Samplers. The third issue is World War I and II. And there's a lot of interesting patterns in there as well, and it focuses again on World War I and II knitting. It's just very interesting. You should check it out. The fourth one, which is the one I brought up with me so I could have something to show you, is Knitting and Spirit. And since the weaving was on the tone of spirituality, I thought this would be a cool one to bring up. I love particularly, where is it? There's a lot of amazingly glorious patterns in here, okay? And the one I am particularly in love with is based on this mosaic. And by the way, I was watching TV. What channel was it? I don't know. It was last night here at my parents' house. I was watching TV. And it showed how these mosaic tiles are made, and wow, it's amazing how much work goes into it. But here is, based on these mosaics, here is the pattern that Donna came up with, and she knit it with, Blue Sky Alpaca Melange Sport Weight BB alpaca yarn in Blue Earth, Cornflower, and Saffron. It's beautiful, and I definitely would love to make it. Beautiful pattern, but there's lots of great historical and spiritual articles here. There's like an article about a mandala pie shawl, which I found a very interesting concept. Here it is right here. With your own mandalas. Actually, I think it's the one on the cover. So anyway, you will have a chance to win one of Donna's and Ava's Stories and Stitches digital version. If you want, if you really don't want it, you can ask for something else. But again, it's for one of the digital versions of Stories and Stitches. So go to the Knitters thread and tell me how knitting is a spiritual experience for you. Okay, and then I'm probably going to leave these open until the end of, well, I don't know. At least at the very minimal, the end of May, but probably the end of June, because like I know people don't get to watching my podcast right away. And I want to give as many people a chance as possible. So spread the word for me so people know to check out the Ravelry group and sign up for the thread. I appreciate it if you're a member, but you don't have to be to join my giveaways. I'm not gonna force anybody to join my Ravelry group. It is not the most active group on Ravelry, and there's lots of other better groups to spend your time. So just if you stop by and that you've watched the show, that's what means the most to me. So don't sweat it if you don't want to join yet another podcast Ravelry group. The other thing I wanted to mention just really quick is, as you imagine, all this stuff does cost money, and my fees for uploading videos to WordPress cost a lot of money, and I am going to have to pay that soon. So if you would like to donate to the show, send me a PM on Ravelry and I'll give you my PayPal address, or you can just buy a pattern. There's a link in my my blog, or you can find my patterns under my username on Ravelry and just buy a pattern, and that would help a lot, and this way you get something in return. So that, I think I'm going to say goodbye. There's nothing new else going on. Just going to throw out there, if you haven't already heard of my Senior Love Along, to please go check out the thread in my Ravelry group. It's a great cause. It's a great chance for you to do something wonderful for our senior veterans that are living in nursing homes. And with no further ado, I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye.